Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Red shirt equals green day, or at least so I have thought. Today, these days, man, these days they happen to me too often. Far too often. Today I feel worse than how I feel on my biggest red days. And it's so counterintuitive, it's so backwards, it's so frustrating. On my biggest red days, I don't feel this bad, man. And so some of you might ask, well, Relentless, why would you feel bad? Why do you feel bad? Well, mentally, I'm on E, I'm on zero here after fumbling a epic day in PHIO. I mean, absolute scalper's dream. You cannot ask for better momentum. And on days like this, where the opportunity is presented to me on a silver platter, I sometimes fumble the move. Man, red shirt equals green day. I don't know, man. So to put the superstition aside, to talk a little bit about context, stock PHIO, this was one of our leading stocks today. Very strong opportunity, very strong move. Started off, and you can see it's at this point, despite selling off of 300%, 270 million shares of volume, 1.8 million float. Unusual volume, or in this case, relative volume, which some of you guys might know this indicator as, is out of the window, right? Compared to volume versus prior days. Man, it fit all of our criterias. This was the stock to trade. This was the stock to trade, the stock of the day. And coming into the open, I said, hey, you know what, man? I like how this thing is curled up recently off of this period of rest. I think this one has a chance at the opening surge. And everything was going perfectly up until we hit 9:30. And I don't know what it is with me sometimes when we're coming into the open, and I'm just like not as locked in as I should be. The trade comes and I let it fly by like yesterday's news. Very obvious. I know what I should have been doing. Break of 4:30 for the trigger and an entry point. I didn't take it. Stock rips up to 470. 40-cent move. 40-cent move, and I just let it go by. I don't know why I didn't take the trade here. I already had my smaller size set. It's just strange, man. But anyhow, this right here put me a little bit on the defense. I missed the move up. I tried to take the pullback. The pullback ended up going from high of day to low of day, which every time this happens, I will always get stopped out because I'm expecting the retracement to hold up, whether at 50%, 60%, 65% retracement. This is at the time, a full bearish engulfing almost, and then the recovery happens. I look over to some other stocks, I come back, just not in a good rhythm. At this point, we're pushing up here towards $5, and it's just, a disastrous start to the day, really. Stock then once again give another full retracement, and this time coming from the 200 EMA. And so I'm thinking, man, this bull flag up here failed to go higher. Perhaps this thing might just be an early Christmas tree and backside, as it came back down to close to low of day, right? Not quite low of day at the time, but close to it. Low of day was around 411. We had lows around 425. So not quite low of day, but what did give us a little bit of hope was that this was the pre-market high. And I don't remember if I caught this trade. We can check the log here. 9:45 a.m. Did I catch this trade at 9:45 a.m.? So 9:44. I think this might have been on the way up. Actually, no. Okay, I'm looking at SLRX. So again, I was watching at some other stocks. This doesn't help with rhythm, as if I'm watching this here, then I'll stand a better chance of understanding how the move is progressing. But I'm watching SLRX switched away. This one at the time gave a red to green, and I was watching to see if we would hold up on this bull flag. This bull flag, as you guys can see, 45, 46, ends up selling off. Full retracement once again. So I started the day down like 2 grand at this point. Red here, 1K. Red on the other one, like 300. And then I think I took some more losses before getting to string anything together. Let's see, so SLRX, PHIO, I'm back to PHIO. It's at 480 at 950 by the time that I'm back. So, it's kind of like the timing just, just not great. But we understand that this is part of the risk when you end up switching away, right? So now as I'm coming back to it, I think we're up here around the VWAP, not the VWAP, the 200 EMA area. So it's that high 510. It looks like it gave a baby pullback and then ripped up to 568. So, I essentially fumbled the entire move. I fumbled the entire move. You can see, not too many trades in this area, which just tells you I'm just out of rhythm. And that wasn't good. And I'll show you guys this trade here, which like really sums up the day for me. Hold on, not these. Man, that thumbnail in there always gets me. At least something to cheer up this day a little bit here. Let's see. This is gonna be on SLRX, right? Right here. This is like a pretty massive move. This right here sums up the day. So the stock, I see inside of my eye, this thing is moving up. I tried to buy the break and hold a 5, and it was a little bit of a bigger range. I think we had 5 by like 510. I tried to jump in, got filled 16. It was right below the halt level, which I don't like to hold into halts up unless I have cushion in between my entry price and the halt level. And this thing was halted up, just a couple cents above my entry. So ideally, what we're going to look for is the dip and rip out of the resumption. But because I'm in the stock already, I play it a little differently than I usually would. And this right here sums up the day for me. This is exactly what this day was for me right here. Watch this. Here we go. Resumption coming up. It goes down to 505 on the bid, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, we might see it pull back below the level of 5. I'm going to try to buy back below 5, maybe 90, 95. See where it tries to bottom out a little bit. The risk might be high in case it flushes down. I'll get back in right away. I sell in the spreads, and it didn't go an inch lower. And in my head right here, I'm like, bro, it's freaking. Oh man. Ideally, if you're in the halt up, you want to see the stock resume higher before anything else happens. So because it was a sideways resumption and it dipped right away, I wanted to try to minimize the damage and then buy back. I thought adding would have been too risky in the split second that I had to think, because it's like, what if we end up dipping to like 480 and I add, let's say, 90, and then it actually doesn't bounce at all. My average might be closer to like 5, and I'm in double size, and then we're down there at like 450, right? So this was just brutal, man. Just brutal. Slap in the face. And this is what they call the tightrope walk, the fine line. Oh man. Oh, I got filled with 509, by the way, if anybody's wondering. And 1 second later, stock is up $1 a share. And my 2 to 3K I could have made, gone to the wind. That's what this day was for me. And again, similar with PHIO, just, from the start of the day, not really being as aggressive as I needed to be, switching away in some key areas. And then when I did come back, something else that was interesting that I noticed kind of, gave me some trouble was the 200 EMA area, right? So the first pullback, which ended up being decent, pulled back into the pre-market high. But I did have a bit of a bias here thinking, man, the 200 EMA, this might just be an early pop and drop. It's pulling back right at this level. This is not coincidence. And then on the other side now, where resistance usually becomes support and we look to be very aggressive, I was very timid at this level, especially on this attempt right here. I caught this one. This one wasn't bad. You can see it's like kind of like one down and up. When we got below the level here, because the level was at 19, we had resistance at 19.20. When we came back down, we pulled back as low as 5, and I started to then think maybe we're holding now below the 200 EMA, and then this candle here happened. So I did at the time think, will we see an early pullback? Okay, we did. This candle is in like pretty bad shape on the one, so I was thinking maybe we might end up having some trouble. So I didn't look at my 5-minute chart enough in this time frame, I think, which could have given me a little bit more confidence at the time. I was a little too tunnel vision on the 1 minute and the level 2. Because if we look down here, we'll see that the volume profile wasn't that bad compared to the move up. And so I did take a position right here, and I sold it too soon just out of worrying about if we're below the level for too much. And that wasn't good, because as you guys can see here, the next candle erupted, and we basically missed that entire push right here. So for us, it was like this churn, and not quite, just not quite locking in on it. PHIO, man, nice move. Nice move. I don't know, it's a little strange for me because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and when things don't go well early, it kind of is an issue. Definitely something that I'm still working on. So what I had to do, I had to leave, like cool down a little bit, came back, and then we saw this XXII, which it was a little tricky, but there was opportunity in this uptrend here from the red to green up to, it's a 75% move here, going from about 7 to 12. And we did our best really in this area here. We definitely could have used more size, but there's always risk. And we did think about where we were on the day and if it would make sense being ultra aggressive. It's like, hey, the best time to have been aggressive was the earlier morning where we kind of fumbled the move, PHIO and SLRX. So what's the point in being ultra aggressive now when the risk is a little higher? It's a little later in the morning. This stock is clearly not pushing as much volume, so it's like, okay. So this one, we made something, I think maybe 2,400 at the highest, gave back a little off the top on the drop, and then from there, I think we had OST. This one, on the daily chart, we'll see that it did give a move. We ended up double topping, but at the time, after this breakout right here, a lot of traders in the chat were thinking this one, could go up and retest that level and potentially break out. But we retested the level and double topped, and so I got caught on the backside here trying to buy the pullback. Quick $400 loss. So it's for me, like a day like today. Again, the way how I feel mentally, it's like I have to cool down. As I mentioned, it was like pretty bad. These days frustrate me the most out of any trading day. Like I said, if there's a day I'm red 5K where I'm like guns a blazing, taking all the right trades, but it just don't work. It's like I could care less about that day. But versus a day like today where the opportunities are there and then I fumble the trades, very frustrating. But in the moments, I try to keep in mind that it's like if you don't stay focused, then ultimately you're just gonna trade even more poorly, and then it's just gonna be a spiral. So I try to lock in as much, leave if I have to, come back, ease off, cool off, then see if something is moving. But definitely still progress at the end of it, because 2 years ago this would have for sure been a big red day, chasing the highs of the move and then not getting anything. So there's still some silver lining, but definitely the goal is to be able to fully maximize. And honestly, man, like I was telling one of the chat room members yesterday that today was going to be a 30K day, and the market gave me the opportunities to do so. So just got to keep working on being better. There is nothing else to do than that exactly. So I'm going to rewatch the film, and these days are the hardest for me to even look at because I'm just going to be punching the air at every tick, at every second, but it has to be done. to continue to ingrain it into my head of what I need to do. And the market has been so hot, right? I mean, we're more than likely going to see something again tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day. We haven't had a cool period in like since like May, or if, and then even then there's still traders who thought that May month of last year was hot, right? So I mean, man, the market right now is insane. So let's keep pushing, let's keep building, and let's stay laser focused tomorrow again. Moral of the story: stay locked in, even when you're going through the tough times. Even when it gets hard, you got to stay focused. Because if not, you can spiral and have a massive red day if you're given to any temptations or FOMO. You just got to stay locked in and keep trading your own game and look to be better for next time. Red shirt, green day. Red shirt, red, green day physically, red mentally. I mean, we'll see. Tomorrow we'll wear blue or something else. See if it makes a difference. All right, guys, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.